So in today's session, we'll talk about what are process groups and knowledge areas. So we are in session 5 of project management. See, what are process groups? They cover what you need to do. That means there are 5 groups. I will tell you what are those 5 groups. So in each of these groups, we have well-defined task, what you are supposed to do, and you can apply these groups either to a project or to a phase. You will understand that. This allows us to perform project management work as the same general steps on any project type and in any industry. So it need not be only IT industry. You can take any industry, whether it is chemical, manufacturing, aeronautics, automobile. These process groups remain the same, but the phases will change. So let me give you an example. If you are in a civil industry, what are the phases of a project? First you have to do feasibility study, then you have to do land leveling, then you have to do foundation. These are the phases. If you want to manufacture a car, first you have to do a feasibility study, then you have to do a market study, then you have to do prototyping. So like this, these are the phases. So every industry will have its own phases. So for each and every phase, you can include this process group to see the execution of the phase or the execution of the project. Probably it may not be very clear to you now. Once we go through the session, you will understand this better. So there are 5 process groups. You have to understand this. One is called initiating, second one is called planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. So these are the 5 process groups. Always remember, process groups are not phases of a project. You should remember this. They are not phases. They are only process groups. We often repeat each process group multiple times throughout a project. So I took one example for you. Let's say that you are setting up one organization. So to set up one organization, you will have multiple phases. So this is phase 1, okay, and this is phase 2, then this is phase 3. So what is phase 1? Probably you have to identify what your organization is supposed to do. So you will have to identify the scope of the organization, what kind of organization you want to start. So you have to identify the scope, whether you want to start a private limited company or a proprietorship organization or a LLP, and what and all you want to do in the organization is called as the scope. Then you have to register the organization with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. For that you may have to talk to CA, you have to get the PAN card, that is the business PAN card, you have to register the director information number, all those things. That is phase 2. Then you have to identify the name of the organization also in phase 2, because there should not be conflicting names. The name of the organization you choose should not be chosen by somebody else. That again is phase 2. After that, you have to open a current account in the bank. That is phase 3. Like this, there are different phases in order to set up an organization. Now, if you want to do phase 1, this phase 1 will have initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. This phase 2 also will have initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. So like means every phase of your project will have these 5 process groups. So these 5 process groups will tell you what to do in that particular phase, what are the activities you are supposed to do in that particular phase of that particular project. So what are process groups? You can see here, they cover what you need to do. That means when I say initiating, what and all you need to do in the initiating stage, what and all you need to do in planning, what and all you need to do in executing, what and all you need to do in monitoring and controlling, what and all you need to do in closing. So now once you close that particular phase, I will transfer some document from phase 1 to phase 2. For example, you have successfully completed phase 1, that means you have identified the scope. After identifying the scope, what will you do? You will make one document. Maybe that document is called as a scope document. So that document you will give to your CA. So CA will come in phase 2. What the CA will do, he will take the scope document and he will verify that. He will upload the document in Ministry of Corporate Affairs. He will check whether the title of the company is available or not. So on, he will continue that. Then finally, he will hand over company registration form to you like this. So like this it goes on. So that means every phase will have one deliverable to come out. So each deliverable is passed from one phase to another phase. And how do you decide these phases? These phases are decided depending upon the industry you are in. Okay. Now phase 1 for an automobile project will not be the same as the phase 1 of setting up a business project. Phase 1 for setting a hotel would be totally different from phase 1 for setting a hospital. So every project will have multiple phases. And every phase must and should have these 5 process groups. That is what I was trying to tell you. So once you define a phase, it must have initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. And remember that we often repeat each process group multiple times throughout the project. You will understand this when I show you a diagram. But right now understand that every phase of the project will have these 5 process groups. So now you see what happens in the initiation stage. So you can see the 5 process groups here. You have the initiation process group, you have planning, you have execution, you have closure, and monitoring and controlling is an umbrella process, is an iterative process. So we will see what happens in the initiation process. Process performed to define a new project or a phase. So you want to start a new project. We will take that example only. You want to start your own company. You have made up your mind to start your own company. So that is a project for you. So what and all process you do in the initiation group, that process is called as an initiation process. So there are so many things which perform in the initiation process group. So in the initiation process group, we are going to perform certain activities which define a new project or a phase. So you want to start a new company. So what is that you do in the initiation process group? You identify the scope of your company. What is that you want to do? Let's say that you want to set up a shop. Shop to sell what? Maybe to sell garments. So what kind of garments you are going to sell? Whether you are going to import it or whether you are going to procure it locally. Where do you intend to start your shop? Which locality you want to start your shop? All these things comes under the initiation process group. Now once you are done with that, then you go for planning. So what is that planning? Establish the scope of the project and define the course of action required to meet the objectives of the project or the phase. So now you are supposed to make a plan how you are going to achieve it. Now you have defined what you want to do in the initiation process. Now you have to plan. Now plan doesn't mean that you have to only plan for time. I told you that you have to plan for time, you have to plan for cost, you have to plan for quality. Now you decided to set up a shop in Yelahanka New Town. So you know how many square feet of space is required. You know the location, so you can do financial planning. What is the rent there? What is the rent for the commercial space? How much of advance I need to pay? So that kind of planning you need to do. And whether the accommodation is available or not. If it is not available, when it will be available? So when can I get the accommodation? How much time I take in order to put up my interiors? Time planning, cost planning, that is that you want to do. So once your plan is ready, then you do execution. You go as per the plan. So what is execution? Complete the work as defined in the project plan. Complete the work as defined in the project plan. That is execution. So always remember, whatever you plan will not happen. There will be deviations. You plan for something, it happens something. So you have to monitor that plan every now and then, and you have to keep on changing it. For example, when you spoke to the owner, he said that the cost per square feet is now 30 rupees. But after 2 months, what happened? The rate increased. The next time when you approached, he said it is 35 rupees. So now there is a 5 rupees increase in that particular price of the accommodation. So in that case, you would have planned for 30, now it is increased to 35. So what happens when you are executing? It is not as per the plan. So what you have to do? You have to go and change the plan. So that means you can see monitoring and controlling. What is the meaning of monitoring and controlling? When you are executing the task as per the plan, it is not simply executing as per the plan. You need to monitor also and see whether the execution is happening as per the plan or not. If execution is not happening as per the plan, then you have to control it. Control the plan and you have to make some changes. That is why I have written here, track, review, regulate the progress and performance of the project, identify corrective actions if required. So if there are any corrective actions to be taken, you have to identify. See, now from 30 it has become 35. So your budget has increased, but you have a fixed budget for your project. So now what you have to do? Will you spend more? You don't have money to spend more. So what will you do? You don't mind paying 5 rupees extra, but you will cut on the interiors cost. So what is that you are going to do? You are going to do cost cutting on the interiors. So that 5 rupees what you are spending extra on the accommodation, you are going to do cost cutting on the interiors. And still ensure that your project happens in the budget what you have allocated. So this is called as corrective actions. So how did you arrive at this corrective action? Because you are doing monitoring and controlling the project when you are executing it. So that is one of the main process which is involved in any phase of a project. And once it is done, you are in the closure phase. What is the closure phase? Finalize all activities across all process groups to formally close the project or the phase. Close the project. Close the project means what? You are going to, it's not that you are closing your business. Close the project means close the project of setting the business. That's all. Now you have set the business. After setting the business, what happens? Operation starts. Now you have to do operations management. Now it is everyday activity now. You have to bring clothes, you have to bring customers, you have to sell, you have to do accounting. There is no need to again look for an accommodation, do interiors, everything. That is one time activity. Once you have set the project, now from the project mode, you are moving to the operations mode. So once the project is closed, what does it mean? The project of setting up that particular shop or the business is closed. From now onwards, now you are moving to the operations mode. So these are the 5 process groups which are involved in setting up a particular project. But generally speaking, these are the 5 process groups which are there in that particular project. And always remember that these 5 process groups need not be sequential. You should know that it can overlap, as you were telling. So when you are doing planning and execution, monitoring and controlling can also happen. So it can overlap. So overlapping can also happen. It need not be sequential. And these process groups are applicable either to a project or to a project phase. That is very important. What is the meaning of a phase of a project? You want to set up something very new. For that you have to do a feasibility study. Without doing feasibility study, you cannot set up anything new. For example, I want to set one more airport in Bangalore, commercial airport in Bangalore. Can I directly go ahead with the project? No, I have to first perform the feasibility study. Feasibility study is phase 1. That feasibility study you will have initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling and closure. The once I perform feasibility study, then I will go for the next phase. What is next phase? The next phase could be getting government clearance. That government clearance again will have initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling and closure. Understood? So here feasibility study is phase 1 of setting up an airport, but that feasibility study itself can be a project which has got these 5 process groups. You are able to understand the difference now? Okay, so process groups are very important. So now you see this diagram. So you can see initiation process group. So level of process, initiation process group will be very high in the beginning. As and when you go, it becomes less. But what is important here is, see, you watch this process group. This process group is what? This is executing process group. It is there almost throughout. And monitoring and control process group you see here, this is almost throughout. Everywhere it is there. This is your process group interaction. And initiation process group will again come at the end. Again at the end it will come. Now you may ask me the question, why initiation process should come at the end? It has to come. Because after you close the project, you have to check whether the deliverables is as per the expectations which has been identified during the initiation process group or not. So they have to interact with each other. So like this, process groups interact with each other over a time, and this is the level of interaction which happens between the process groups. Next important thing is, you have a concept called knowledge area. So you should always remember these two in project management. One is the process group and second one is the knowledge area. So what is a knowledge area? They cover what you need to know. What is a process group? They cover what you have to do. The knowledge areas cover what you need to know. So you will know the difference between these two now. So there are 10 knowledge areas in project. You have integration, scope, time, cost, quality, HR, communications, risk, procurement and stakeholders. So this knowledge areas you need to know. So that means you should know what is scope management, what is time management, what is quality management, what is human resource management. You should know what is procurement management, you should know what is risk management, how to manage risk. So knowledge area is nothing but the expertise in that particular knowledge. So when I say communications management, what and all expertise you have in communication management, what expertise you have in procurement management, they all fall under your knowledge area. Now somewhere you should relate process group with knowledge area. So you should have one kind of mapping. So I told you that there are 5 process groups: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling and closing. These are 5 process groups which tell you what to do in a project. Knowledge areas will tell you what is that you need to know if you have to do that. And there are some 10 knowledge areas. Now, how do you relate this process group with knowledge area is very important. So that table, if you can see, you will understand the mapping of the knowledge area with the process groups. Then you will get some clarity. Now once we now start proceeding further, we will be talking only of this process group and knowledge area. Process group and knowledge area. So that means we will identify one process and we will say that this process belongs to this process group and it falls in this knowledge area. So that is how we basically map it. So let me show you that. Okay, now you see here, maybe it is not that clear. So these are the process groups. You have initiation process group, planning process group, executing process group, monitoring and controlling process group and closing process group. So these are the 5 process groups you have, and these are the knowledge areas: project integration management, project scope management, schedule management, cost management, quality management, resource management, communication management, risk management, procurement management and project stakeholder management. So all the 10 knowledge areas are coming here and all the process groups are coming here. Now you see, in this initiation project group, I have one process called develop project charter. This is one process. It is called develop project charter. So before you start any project, you have to develop this document. What is this document all about? It is called develop project charter. So output of this is you have to develop a charter document. So this charter document, if you have to develop, you should have the knowledge of integration management. So if you are good in project integration management, you can develop this project charter. So what is integration management means? Taking data from all other groups is called as integration. Similarly, you would see now you have something called as close process group. You have to close the project. If you have to close the project, also you should have integration management knowledge area. See, integration management knowledge area means integration knowledge area management means what? You are ensuring that you are pulling the data from various groups and you have to close. If I have to close a project, so I cannot simply close the project just like that. I have to take whether all the activities are closed in the various stages. So from various stages I have to take all the activities and see that it is closed, and then only I can finally close the project. So that is why it comes under integration management. So now these knowledge areas will give you complete expertise about the project, and these process groups will tell you what is that you are supposed to do in that particular project or a phase. So this much you understand at this point of time. As we move further, you will understand very clearly what are the processes involved in each of this process group and how to develop it and how it relates to the knowledge area. So that we will see one by one. But at this point of time, understand that every process group relates to a knowledge area. So there is a mapping of this process groups and knowledge area. So there are totally around 10 knowledge areas which you need to understand, and there are around some 47 to 48 processes which are available in all these process groups you need to understand. So you need not memorize this actually, but you need to understand this if you have to really manage the projects properly. So let me make it still more simpler for you. Okay, see here. See, you have planning here, correct?
Okay.
What is this planning? This planning is a process group, correct?
Correct.
What and all plans you make, Panish? You make time plan.
How much required?
Yeah, what is the, how much, will you not plan that my project will require 3 months, 4 months or 5 months?
Yes, sir.
So what is that plan called? Time plan.
Yes.
Will you not plan for how many resources you require?
Yeah, correct.
So that is called human resource plan, correct?
Yes, sir.
Will you not plan the cost of the project?
Yes.
That is called a cost plan. Will you not plan for quality? What quality I have to maintain in my project? That is called the quality plan. So to do time planning, you should have a knowledge area of project time plan. To do quality plan, you should have project quality management. To plan for resources, you should have human resource management plan. If you want to plan for communications, you need to have communications management plan. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
So communication management is one knowledge area. Time management is one more knowledge area. Cost management is one more knowledge area. Scope management is one more knowledge area. So you should have scope management expertise, time management expertise, cost management expertise, human resource management expertise, and also other expertise in which has to be fit in the planning process group of that particular project. So now you understood what is a knowledge area called cost,
Yes, sir.
quality.
Yes, sir.
So cost and quality is a two different knowledge area. Cost knowledge area is different, quality knowledge area is different. But these two basically come under plan. Project planning. So when you look at this now, you can see here in the planning process group, you have so many things. See, you can see here, plan quality management. Can you see there? Plan human resource management, plan communication management, plan risk management. So that means you don't think that planning is only making a simple project plan. Project plan andre it is not just making one simple time plan. No. You should plan for risk, you should plan for quality, you should plan for cost, you should plan for human resource, you should plan for so many things. So that is why you can see this knowledge area project risk management is also mapping into planning process group. Procurement management is also mapping into planning process group. Human resource management is mapping into this planning process group. Cost management is mapping into planning process group. Everything is mapping into this process group. That means if you want to plan your project properly, you should have expertise in all these areas. You should have expertise in scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communication, risk, procurement and stakeholder. You should have expertise in all these things. Then only you can do planning very clearly, which comes in the planning process group. Understood, Panish?
Yes, sir.
So now you understood what is the difference between knowledge area and a process group. So knowledge area will tell you what to do. So it will tell you that your project should have planning. Process group will tell you that your project must and should have planning. But what in planning, nobody knows. For that you need to know all these knowledge areas. How to do is shown in all these knowledge areas. So that is the basic difference between project management, process groups and knowledge areas.